I'd like to call to order this meeting, the Carver Council on Aging Board of Directors. We have a quorum. We have Savory, Moore, Donna Forian, Claudia Miller, Paula Hitchcock, and we have Helen Maroney on the phone. This is posted in accordance with the provisions of MGL Chapter 30A, Section 20, as amended. Again, this is in the Murdoch Room of the Nutrition Center at the Carver Council on Aging. Today's Thursday, July 29th. It's a little after 4:30. And the agenda has been adopted by the board. And we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. So the board has been distributed the minutes previously. Did you all have time to read them? Mm-hmm. Okay.
I have a motion that we approve and accept the minutes of the last board of directors meeting.
Okay.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Unanimous.
Okay.
Thank you. All right, now is the time for public comment. And I just wanted just to remind everybody, this is your time, but we welcome your comments, which are really, really important to us. And note that all comments may be regulated to a specific time frame. As a reminder, please come up to this chair up front and you're welcome to talk. Note that we will not be entering any dialogue tonight with any of these topics. The purpose of the agenda item is for you. But remember to keep your topic to what's on the agenda tonight. So do we have anyone from the public that would like to speak?
I want to speak, but I thought we have to speak only to what's on the agenda.
Yes.
We would like that, yes.
When do we have citizens' participation?
Right now. It has to do with...
I'm not speaking about something, I don't want to talk about something that's on the agenda. I thought I was going to talk at citizens' participation.
This is citizen participation, but we'd ask you to please keep your topic to what's on the agenda.
Well,
Does she want
how
to
does
add
that
it?
make sense?
Would you like to add this to our next meeting, to the agenda?
No.
Okay.
I want to speak now.
Thank you. Hold on one second, please. What do you recommend? It's to the agenda, correct? Topic on the agenda.
It should be to what's on the agenda. It should
Yeah.
be restricted to what's on the agenda. And
Has it
if
ever
there
been
is,
Here's Steph. Can we hold a minute? Stephanie's here.
Do we just move on? Can you give me some help?
Yeah, it even says so on the current policy that it needs to be specific.
Helen Maroney should step out.
Okay, so currently on our agenda policy, it does say that public speaking should be or must be to the current agenda. Can you tell me what your topic
Okay,
is?
I want to speak as a senior and as something that occurred a few weeks ago. I want it brought up. These people have come tonight in support. So I don't know when this changed and flipped around, that a citizen's participation, you have to talk about what's on the agenda. I have never heard of this.
313 was the...
So this, just so you know, this agenda policy was changed on March 13th, 2021, and that's when it was changed. And if you would love to add whatever you would like to talk about to the next meeting,
No,
well, then
no.
you're out of order. And if you continue to argue, then I'm really sorry.
Well, This is something that's very
I'm
important.
sorry, but you're out of order.
This is the standards of the conduct for the town of the Council on Aging. I would suggest.
Excuse me,
I'm
but
just
you're
saying,
out of order.
I would suggest
I call
that you
this meeting
listen
to
this
recess, please. Thank you.
Because this is
Recess 5 minutes, please.
pertaining.
Thank you. We'll move on with public comments, please. And I would like to let everybody know, if you do have a particular factual question about anything here at the Council on Aging, you have a lovely director. Please direct your, questions or whatever you need to do to, if it's helpful to her. She's available every single day. All right, so we'll move on with the public comments, please. Do we have anybody else that would like to speak? And what is your name?
My name is Deborah Gesualdo, and I live here in Carver on Main Street.
Can you hear Debbie?
Can you hear me? No. Should I turn around, and who do I face?
You can
here?
face.
Here.
Sure, yeah, you could.
That's good. Now can everybody hear me? I'd like to make a suggestion, and it is, since we got into an agenda discussion and a public comment question,
Yeah.
I will say, I do believe there's information beyond this policy of March that precludes people from
Yeah.
censoring public comment.
Okay.
However, I am not an attorney.
Deb Gesaldo.
Hi, Helen. So what I'd like to suggest, if I may, I would like the interim town administrator to look into this and see exactly what is right. We're arguing about something that we really don't have a definitive answer on. I do know the answer, but I'm not an attorney, so I think we should have him take the opportunity to go back and research what you can and cannot do in public policy, because open comment. Because once we do that, then we know, and we can all know the rules and play by the same rules. And I think that that's the best thing to do at this point. So, if I may respectfully ask that you put this on the agenda, but I do want to caution. There are personnel issues, and people who are employed by the town of Carver do deserve a certain amount of confidentiality. And some of these things may not be appropriate here. They may be, I don't know.
Okay.
I am not a human resource expert.
Okay.
But I worked in a school my whole life, in the school system, and I do know there are these regulations. So if we could ask Mr. LaFawn to please look into open meeting law to make sure that you are all protected and that the people who are here to speak have their voices heard. This is a wonderful place. With wonderful people, and I would like to see any and all of these issues resolved in a civil manner. Everybody who works for the town, volunteers for the town, attends town facilities, everybody deserves respect and dignity. So I would ask, please, that you all remember this, whether you're sitting on this board, you're alternate voters, or you are people who make this place the vibrant place it is. Please remember that. It's important. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Do we have any other public comments?
I just want to add that I would like to have this put on the agenda for the next meeting.
Okay.
And I respect what Deb says. And I've also spoken to legal, so if Rick wants to go out and, we can come to an agreement.
Okay.
Because I was told something different.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Is she gonna,
You'll have, Nancy, you'll have to give me the topic for the
Sure.
agenda?
Of
Okay.
course, yes.
And if you have any handouts for that meeting, we'll have to have those so that the board can have that information to
Nancy will
review.
provide.
That's all I'm saying. Okay, thank you so much. Any other public comments? Seeing none, the next item on the agenda is the policy committee update, including
The agenda.
the agenda policy. So, this board has received a copy of that, and we'll let the chair of that committee talk about the agenda policy that you've all received.
Stephanie and I met on the agenda policy because there were a number of changes that needed to be met. This is a draft, and we're not expecting a vote on it today. Obviously now, the March 13th policy is still in place. this is a work in progress, and as of what's happened now, an additional work in progress. So if everyone wants to read it on the board, and we can get the information from Rick, which we need to do. It may require some updates on here also. So the board needs to keep this with them. This is not an official published document yet, so take a look at it and come back to Stephanie or I with any suggestions you'd like, and we can revisit it again.
Okay.
And then we can move on to, the vision statement.
Okay.
Stephanie and I will probably meet this week
Okay.
to cover the vision statement. I think we both have enough information we've gathered, and we have a pretty common idea on what we're looking for.
Okay.
So,
Can you speak a little louder, please, or get a microphone? We can't hear what you're saying.
okay.
Yell.
Yell, okay.
Yeah. Use your playground voice.
Come on, you got a voice
Pretty
in
loud
there.
voice.
Bring it on.
Okay. As far as the vision statement, which we talked about, I think, in May, I think Steffi and I have enough information now on our own to put some samples together.
Okay.
We're meeting this week on it,
Okay.
hopefully on Tuesday here.
Okay.
And we'll offer some examples on the vision statement. Our vision statement, I can tell you that we both felt should be directed on the board's support of the Council on Aging as its directors, its employees, the building, that we've envisioned the board as a support system to that entity in a whole. So that's how we're looking at it. So
All right.
we'll.
So you have the agenda policy in front of you. Is there any discussion on it?
I'm new to this, so I'm just have a curious question. So if the average citizen or senior citizen wanted a topic put on, they can't just put it on. Do they have to contact somebody on the board? to put
Anybody
it
on the
as long
board,
as they
and
put
then
it
you
on?
guys can send me an email.
Just so I understand,
Yeah,
okay? 'Cause-
yep.
Yeah, because all the other meetings I went to, things were brought up that weren't on the agenda at the end. So I'm a little confused
You are
on that.
correct.
Yeah, okay,
You are correct.
all right.
There's-
All right, just
You're not incorrect.
But how can we get that information out to that average Joe?
It's gonna it was a suggestion to put it in the newsletter.
Okay, good.
Okay,
All right.
okay.
Yeah, because I wouldn't have known
Oh,
that
good.
to tell anybody that.
Right, okay. Any other comments? Discussion? Stephanie, anything? Avery, anything?
I think just once we get to the point where this is approved, not only the newsletter, but the Friends
Okay.
Facebook page and,
Right.
you know, everywhere.
Like the town website, yeah,
Everywhere
as
it
many
can be.
places as we possibly can communicate it, absolutely.
All right, and just so we all are aware that the town administrator will be consulting again with the town attorney to verify the agenda policy to make sure that it is in accordance. You
Yeah.
know,
I
we
mean-
will do, this is for you guys, and we want the best for you guys, so that's what it's all about, so, I would ask that we table this.
Okay.
We have a
Yeah,
motion to table.
and we agree. I make a motion to table the draft of the agenda policy for the Council on Aging. And since we talked about it, the vision statement to an addition table it for future discussion.
Okay.
I'll second that.
All
Thank
those
you.
in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay, unanimous. All right, the next item on the agenda is the director's report.
I'd like to show the video that was created by Area 58. In fact, Chris Gardner, who's right here filming, is the one that filmed it and edited it. And it's a promotional video that used a lot of the images from the open house back in June. And just, well, I'm not in the way here.
No, you're not.
So
I don't know if you want to see it, you might have
stand up
to
to
stand
look
up
at
if you want to
It's
see
in the
it.
corner here. Am I in the way?
But we can't hear it.
Cannot walk into this building and not just have the sense of
Start it again.
one of the best words to use is fresh. It's vibrant. You cannot walk into this building and not just have this sense of taking a deep breath and saying, now this is what our COA should be, a welcoming environment.
So, so I actually work in elder services, and I know that the Council on Aging is the hub for seniors, and it's one of the most important aspects of a town.
Well, I think it is or should be very important, and I think sometimes that a lot of people don't know about some of the things that take place here.
And the opportunity to get the right types of services, information, assistance, nutrition, all of those services are so important. And that's why I was so glad to see the Council of Aging take some of the resources that we've been able to bring to the town to do a needs assessment, not only to look at what the needs are presently, but also to predict some of the needs for the future.
Oh, I think if you saw this a couple months back or back in the old days, it's almost night and day. It's almost night and day. So it really breathes some life into the building. Looking forward to other activities down here, pickleball at some point, really kind of breathe more life into it. But Connie Kelly did a great job. COA deserves credit for advocating for this, and we did what we could to put some money together. But Connie is the one who really organized this and really put a lot of pressure on us to get this done right. So it really is a breath of fresh air.
The Carver COA is extremely important, being that we offer services and activities for the seniors who have been isolated for so many months, if not over a full year here. And we want to really get the word out that we have a lot to offer, and certainly anyone in need has the ability to get services through the COA. If we don't provide those services, we can find out who does and assist in that way. Thank you, Chris, for the video.
That's right.
Is it currently being shown on Area 58, or will be in between different shows or something?
I'm not sure at the moment.
But that will be, and it's also on the Friends website, and we'll be adding it to like the Facebook page and serve as a little bit of a promotional video, as well as giving people a preview of what the space looks like. Could you pass that to please? Just anyone in the audience that wants it. Just a review, I have statistics for the month.
Make sure you talk louder.
The months of June and July. Gatra bus service is now full service at full capacity, but masks are still required through September. 3 more Gatra drivers are still needed, so spread the word. We are in need of more drivers as the capacity of trips increase, and we really could use definitely 3 more total. Meals on the Move have dropped down to 42 meals a day from a high of 65 during the height of the pandemic. Daily congregate meals are returned to full-time on June 1st and averaging currently 10 to 12 daily. Today was like 18, an expected weekly increase with bingo returning on August 5th next week. I currently have 103 seniors that have been registered for my senior center, and those with the key tags with the barcodes to keep track of activities. Weekly craft classes are increasing in attendance. Basket weaving went from 1 class twice a month to now 2 classes twice a month. Chair yoga went from 1 class monthly to now every Monday, weekly classes. And the classes themselves are growing. The monthly nutrition programs that we've been offering have been very well attended, and they've been asking for more of them. I think it's because sample food is actually being shared at them. They seem to enjoy that. Recap of the events in June. We had a Carver Cultural Council sponsored program, History of Jazz, which was a program and a performance by a jazz guitarist, Paul Spidell, attended by 18, and it was very well received. The COA open house was attended by approximately 200 people with nonstop traffic for all 3 hours that we offered it. A lot of new seniors to Carver passed through. People were very open about being new to the town. A lot of great feedback from the visitors on the renovations. The sandwich board sign that's been on display, it's here in the building and it's been out front, has been provided by the Friends and was very instrumental in advertising the event and other events ongoing. Several people mentioned that it was the sign that had them stop by. I've included the link for the Carver Reporter coverage that was given on the day. It also has a short video, if anyone was not present for the ribbon cutting, of my opening remarks, where I thank the board for their support, and I also thank the members of the board who decorated the outside of the building before the event itself. In July, the programming we had going on continued the crafting programs and yoga classes. What was new to July, Heidi, our outreach worker, started her monthly outreach event. This one was called Coffee and Conversation at the public library, and she was able to provide information to anyone walking through as a drop-in. She also was able to sign up 3 new seniors with My Senior Center. And next month, she is offering a tea time talk where she's serving iced tea, also currently at the public library, but looking to rotate these sessions at the villages throughout the town. We also had our annual barbecue luncheon. We served 60-plus people. The Carver Police Department grilled the burgers and hot dogs, as well as served the seniors in attendance. The Friends of the COA sponsored yesterday's country music band for the entertainment, as well as offering raffle drawings as a fundraiser. I also provided the link for that coverage. We've got nice coverage over these programs in the paper as well as online. Carver Cultural Council also sponsored the program Songbirds of the Northeast, which had a full capacity crowd of 23 in this space and here. A lot of high interest in that particular event. Developments with the COA, they're ongoing. The COA Building and Ground Safety Review was performed by the Operations and Maintenance Department, resulting in area rug removals as well as designation of sole entries to be the 2 doors with the ramps and automatic door openers. Signage directing visitors to the ramp entrance is currently in the works. The uneven brick walkways will be paved over along with the gravel driveway by the Nutrition Center for a more smoother surface. As a result of an appeal I made back in October when I started in this position to State Representative Susan Williams Gifford, she has secured $20,000 in earmark funds for the COA. The appeal was made with the need to address additional upgrades to the COA, including window replacements in the Nutrition Center, as well as the development of outdoor space, such as a deck with senior-friendly picnic tables overlooking the planned pickleball courts and recreation areas. Additional submissions for the CARES Act funds, in addition to what was submitted at the end of last year, are My Senior Center touchscreen kiosk, which is a contactless form of a check-in, which we do not have at this time, which most COAs do have. And I confirmed with the company that many COAs have actually applied for the CARES Act funds and received it for this particular item. And it also will be a self-serve kiosk where it records the attendance, events, and activities. And that runs about $3,000. I was putting through 5 additional iPads to go with the 5 we already have, plus a locking charging station for all 10 iPads, which would come to about $3,000 also. Starting in the fall, the iPad tech classes will be taught by a Carver resident who's a retired tech teacher. Her name is Lydia Nelson. An update for our Shine counselor, local retired nurse Irina Marcolini, will be starting in September as our new Shine counselor. She is currently still training. And the last item that kind of got cut off was an update on our ambassador program, which is putting together a welcome packet, which will be a folder. Stephanie and Paula are working with all the town agencies and some services to provide information, creating a directory of services that are specific to seniors, along with our brochures. There's an attached brochure, which is the Carver COA brochure as a companion to the Friends brochure that we already have in place. So we'll be putting that together, and when they're completed, we can share those with everyone, and will be shared with the villages and housings, so they can provide it to any new residents that move into the town, specifically the seniors that do. Attached is I also wanted to point out I attached a copy of a page from the July newsletter, which acknowledges all the people that worked the open house. We had the people I asked to work the open house were actually representatives of the services and activities here at the COA, such as our yoga instructor, our basket weaver, and they had name tags identifying their name as well as the activity they represented. And I think that was really well received. We had, as the listing here, we had 21 volunteers that worked that day. It was really well received. And attached finally is the current newsletter is for August, so you can look it over and see what's actually upcoming. There is a bus trip on the, as a preview for September, and we're already getting responses for people that are signing up for that as well.
Okay, all right. Any questions from the board?
No.
Anybody?
Great job.
Nice job, Stephanie and Paula, on the packet. That's really going to go a long way with future advertising.
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh, absolutely, yeah, getting the word out.
yeah, for getting the word out and having something to give away to people when
Yes.
we do.
Can you explain how that ambassador package will be used?
Right, well, it's gonna be given to new residents that move into any of the senior housing, so they're making the contacts, they're getting the contacts,
Okay.
which isn't easy. Some of them are corporately owned, and so having a local contact is making it difficult. We were also, when we met this week, or just yesterday, wanting to have maybe contact with local real estate agents who were perhaps the liaison with some of these, and certainly within the town itself, if you're not part of a village, so they can actually be a representative. So I'll have a welcome letter and the components of what are the COA bits of information, a membership for my senior center, information about the EMS departments, health services, the wellness clinic. There's a bookmark with Heidi's information for outreach, which would hopefully be something that would be held on to and utilized for people who want to, check for, services and whatnot. And then, like I said, they're putting together a directory of contact information, pantries within the community, through the churches, thrift shops, things that would be of interest. What is the senior work off as far as the tax credit, an application for that Paula picked up. So things like that would make sense and help for the seniors that just moved into town.
Okay, all right, thank you, and,
Donna, may I ask a question?
yes, you may.
Is there any way that we could also target new seniors in town that don't live in the villages?
Well, that's what the real estate agents, that was the thought there, that they will have to, check in with that.
Did you hear her?
Even if we could go by, I believe
Town clerk, maybe.
the voter registration polls have ages, and we could cross-reference it to the address.
Okay.
And I just don't want to leave any seniors out.
Oh, no, right, I was gonna ask that question,
The
because she
public
said
venues like
village.
Carver Night Out and having a table week
No.
and giving them out at the, what is the clam bake?
Oh, the
Oh,
old home
oh,
day
the
or
clam
like
bake
farmers
and the-
market, those
and
types
then
of
that
things
would
in town.
include
Carver Night
People
Out.
that
and-
aren't maybe in the village.
Isn't there another?
Excuse me,
event?
can you go through the chair?
Carver Night Out?
Yeah.
Well, is there another venue besides Carver Night Out that's a big Carver thing?
Well, there's the farmers market, and then there's
Old Home Day.
Oh,
It's on
Old Home
Saturday.
Day, that's what I'm thinking of.
All right, any other questions for Connie? No, okay, any other questions?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Connie.
All right, the next item on the agenda is the fall event from the Council on Aging Board of Directors. And I just want to ask you, Connie, do you have any fall events on your item that we should know about?
Oh, as far as a conflict that goes out,
Yeah.
because I don't have my September calendar, but I do have things on the agenda.
Okay.
That we're starting the Tai Chi class.
Right.
And all that type of thing, so if you let me know what you were thinking about
Okay.
doing, I can get back to you with an actual date.
All right, so we're just gonna have a discussion on some kind of a fall event. I was thinking maybe, October. I don't know how the board feels and where you want to have it. And so we need to, if we can just take 5 minutes, and if you could just address your conversation through the chair.
Sure.
Dance, some kind of a social event.
Okay.
Are we gonna open, who's this open to, this event?
It will be
All
open to,
seniors?
like
Or
we did
just
last
you?
time, anybody 50 and over,
Well, I don't know if we designated an age,
Yeah,
but I think we
okay.
just said, this is for the Carver COA Board
Okay.
of Directors.
Okay.
The meet and greet, it was basically saying,
a
come
meet and greet, okay.
Well, meet and greet the people who represent your interests. 'Cause I
Right,
think that's
okay.
kind of really, describe what the purpose of meeting you would be. It's like,
Okay.
now, I think Paula was just saying that, how do people know to ask somebody if they have like an agenda item they want to discuss, if they don't know who we even are.
Right,
So,
okay.
getting out there and just saying, if you want to raise any issues, this is the board.
Right.
Know who you want to tell these things to, and then it can be addressed.
Okay. Do you want to go with something like we had last time over at the gazebo?
That's what I was gonna say is, I thought last year's event was pretty successful.
Okay. All right.
It was a nice, certainly a nice venue.
To
Yeah.
replicate what we did last year.
Yeah.
I don't think it speaks to, I don't think it speaks to all the age groups we want. I mean, that's fine for the current members of the Council on Aging, but our point should be to recruit and get 55 and plus people who are not necessarily available at that time of day because they work.
Right, but, to get the awareness of it, but to have them participate here, you have to be 60 and up.
Okay, so then you
that's
make
okay,
it
but I think-
60.
But I think having a presence in a public forum.
Well,
is
I think
still
it's important because we have caregivers out in the field, and caregivers can be under 60, and they need to know what's happening at the Council on Aging.
Yeah.
So I think it should be open to anybody, the event, so that they can learn a
I just
little
wouldn't
bit more.
advertise that it was a certain, that's what I'm
Yes,
saying. I wouldn't
yes,
necessarily,
okay.
just have it open to everybody. And
Right.
I don't think we put an age limit on, I
Right,
never,
okay.
I actually don't list an age limit on anything.
I didn't even know what it was.
All right.
If I may.
Yes, go
Madam
ahead.
Chair. I know that you had the event at the gazebo last time. Was that, what day of the week was that on? I know I was unable to attend. I don't recall. Was it during the week?
Was it a
It was
Because I was
Tuesday?
just-
Monday.
Was it
Monday?
Monday? Something I just wanted to throw out for consideration.
Yep.
Is the Nashes did say that anyone associated with the COA could have a booth at the farmer's market any weekend that we chose. So I understand Shirtlift Park might not be ideal due to the walking, the surface there. But what if we maybe thought about having our event at the same time at the gazebo, that maybe way we could draw some traffic from the farmer's market over to the gazebo, maybe reaching a larger audience. Just something
That's a great
just a
idea.
suggestion to consider, because there'll already be some traffic there, and then if we can use the sandwich board or have some balloons,
Okay.
and maybe one of us walking in the farmer's market, encouraging people to go
Okay.
across the street and attend. So just a thought.
All right, thank you. Any other conversations?
How long does the farmer's market go, do we know?
I believe it's 12 to 4.
No, I mean, to the seasonal.
October, November.
Is it October?
I want to say, they go pretty late into the season,
Okay.
into like second or third week in October, I think. I can find out if you'd like me to. So I'm not sure what the
They'd be
date
more
is,
apt to
but
be looking for cold weather activities inside. You know what I mean?
That would be a Sunday.
Yep.
Yeah, I just think this is just a conversation to get going, and we can put it back on the agenda, and maybe we can get some more ideas and details for the next meeting.
What about a booth for ourselves at the farmer's market that day to direct people?
Okay. I'm writing it all down.
Do we know the status of the roof of the pavilion? Is it?
I don't have any details on that. Excuse me, Town Administrator, do you have any details on the roof?
The roof on the pavilion in Shirtlift Park, is that in good shape?
It needs to be replaced. We're waiting to see if we get some CARES Act money for that.
Okay.
So it's
Is-
not unsafe.
That's what I was gonna ask.
Oh,
Is it dry?
Yes,
Is it dry?
Or are we at the Council on Aging?
Council on Aging.
Okay, I'll be right there.
All right, bye.
Oh, I mean, that's a,
Yeah, I mean, I understand that the terrain is rough, but if we're gonna go and have a booth there directing people across the street,
Might as well.
why not just
Have it
do it
there.
there? And last year at the gazebo, we were extremely lucky. It was an absolutely perfect day.
Right,
And, it could rain.
right.
And it would be nice to be able to be in Shirtlift Park, perhaps in the pavilion,
Right,
where there's a little bit more room.
okay.
And then all we have is a sandwich board with an arrow instead of having people cross the street.
Okay,
Oh, that's
That's a great-
probably a good consideration.
yeah.
Yeah,
Any
just
other?
a thought. I'm not sure, we'll have to see if they're
Okay.
using the pavilion that day, for
Okay.
sometimes they
Oh, we
have
have
music or
pop-ups.
whatever, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
We were just saying, we both have pops, it's, it's absolutely a great idea to entertain.
Yeah, I think so
Yeah.
too.
So do we want to hone in on a date so that we could check with the Nashes and?
Sure.
So we have the third, Columbus Day weekend is the 10th, so I'd like to shy away from that.
Yes.
All the friends.
Is the 10th?
Yeah.
Okay,
The
good.
9th of Saturday.
Okay,
Okay.
all right. How about either the 3rd or the 17th of October? And then,
Why don't we find out when
Either
the
of
last
these.
day is?
Yep.
And then either
Okay.
choose the 3rd or the 17th?
okay. All right, is that,
Yeah.
Yep, that sounds great.
okay,
Let me see, do they have
all right,
information?
The third would be probably warmer.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
You
That's
could
what I was
promote, you could
thinking.
promote the golf.
Yeah, that might be you.
Yeah, they're, sorry, Madam Chair.
Yes,
Their Facebook page says they're open through October, 12 to 4. So
Okay.
hopefully we'll be able to pick, any
Okay.
date in October.
okay.
Are you gonna have board members work on it? How are you going to work the planning piece of this, if I may ask? I'm not sure how it was, I can't
Well, we
recall how it
formed a
worked
committee last time,
Okay.
so we don't have a committee listed on the agenda, but we are discussing it. I would say that we should have a committee. What's the pleasure of the board?
I think it makes sense to me to just have dedicated people working on it so we can just focus.
Move on.
Yeah, just make a checklist and
Right.
have, different issues assigned to people to
All
move
right.
it forward and then report back to the board at.
All right, how about this? Is there anybody
prior.
interested in being on that?
I did it last year.
I love how you looked right at me.
Yeah.
I'm more than willing to help,
Okay.
so.
Do we have a list of what we did last year? I mean, we'll probably follow the same format, right?
We have a lot of emails that, yeah, we can go back and look.
Okay.
Does anybody else want to serve on the committee for planning this
I
event?
will. You want me to contact the Nashes?
Well, why don't we wait and let your committee decide who's gonna do that?
Oh.
We'll make
Yeah, that makes sense.
And
Okay. So if we have a motion on, you volunteer?
Right?
No,
No,
not
you
yet.
didn't volunteer? Oh, okay.
I'm offering more volunteers. I'm saying, I think the committee, if they need some specific things, should come back to the board and
Okay.
get some of us to
Idea.
pitch in
Okay.
maybe with certain items or doing certain things that you can't get to, the two of you.
Okay.
Because,
All right, so do we have a motion on the floor to form a committee for the fall event? And I'll serve on that committee as well,
Okay.
if you don't mind, and Stephanie and Paula. So we need a motion
So moved.
to form a committee for Stephanie, Paula, and myself to
Second.
work on the fall event.
Okay.
Second?
mm-hmm.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, all right, that's all. All right,
And of
the
course I'll help.
next item on the agenda is the board member comments, and I'll start with my left.
I don't have any at this time.
Okay,
I just, those were my questions about the agenda stuff.
Okay.
so
all right,
Now that I know that.
okay. Stephanie?
All set. I won't take up much time. I just want to say thank you to everyone that is putting in effort to really help invigorate the Carver Council on Aging. I know that there are some challenges to navigate. I know that there's always going to be bumps along the way, but I just want to let everyone know that I greatly appreciate. I mean, everyone's heart is in the right place. And we all want what's best for the seniors, and I know that sometimes it can be difficult to get there. But I just want to say thank you to everyone that's putting in their time and their effort to help that happen. I know I've I know I come, even though I don't meet the age requirement, every once in a while, and it's a lovely place to be, and it's always a lovely time, and it's great to see new people come in and make new friends, and learn more about what the Carver Council on Aging has to offer, because it has so much to offer. So I just wanted to say thank you to everyone that has been putting in the work, and everyone that's committed to moving it forward, because I really think that our best days are ahead of us. So I'm just thankful to everyone, and I'm grateful to be here. So that's all.
Thank you. Claudia?
I just want to thank Connie for the open house. That was an extreme amount of work. And
Well,
it
there's
just...
a lot of people, as you could, the list there, you could see how many people participated in
It, and everyone that you encouraged and inspired to work, because that's a lot of volunteers that really came
The town stepped up, and
through.
everybody, like I was saying, volunteers just, we're very happy to help, so.
It
that
worked out
makes-
beautifully.
That makes it easy when everyone's more than willing, so, yeah.
Good, and congratulations to you on your organizational skills
No.
with getting everybody to jump in there. Thank you.
Anything else?
No, nothing else from me.
Savory?
I just want to kind of give an update.
Ooh, yeah.
Connie mentioned in her report, her monthly report, about the development of outdoor space, including senior-friendly picnic tables and a deck overlooking the planned pickleball courts and recreation area. I just wanted to kind of give people an update that the recently formed Open Space and Recreation Committee has begun talking with SERPED, the Southeast Regional Planning and Economic Development Group, about what can be done in this area, in the property surrounding the Council on Aging building. I think most of you know, and if you don't, the Carver Conservation Commission purchased the property next door, 44 Lakeview Street. It's a little less than an acre, but it runs from Lakeview Street all the way down to the water. It adjoins the town-owned property all the way. We met this morning, a group of us, mostly conservation, but Mr. LaFawn was there, Ms. Hewins. We met this morning with representatives from the Buzzards Bay Coalition who do these types of property management for conservation land, to basically ask if they owned it, what would they do to the property next door. And we've got a lot of good insight. The first thing they said was to take down the fence between here and there.
Oh.
Yeah, that makes
And we're looking at creating walking loops on that property, cut-throughs between the parking lot here and that property, and taking the backyard of that property, the field that's behind the home there, and probably making that into a pollinator wildflower area, and then have paths that go through that, putting in benches. There's a possibility we would put in a covered pavilion similar to what's in Shirtlift Park, but that's down the road a bit, but it would be a covered place for picnic table, maybe outdoor yoga, things like that. And we're looking at that being closer to the building than to the water, to this building than to the
Yeah.
water. So we've got a lot of good ideas. The Buzzards Bay Coalition is going to do a rough map for us on some of the things that they suggested today, and we'll take a look at that with conservation and start to develop a plan of what we're going to do with that property. But the first thing is to make sure that each of the two properties complement each other.
Nice.
There's a lot that can't be done on that property because it is conservation land, but there's a lot that can be done too.
Okay.
So basically, it will open this up and make this whole property larger, with some of it being for the use that it is now, but also having a quieter place for walking and sitting and just enjoying the nature and the view of the pond. So that's where we stand on that, and more to come.
Excellent.
Cool.
Is the building going to be maintained?
Excuse me?
We are looking into possibilities of what we can use the building for. There's talk about using the building for educational purposes around conservation efforts, fishing classes, tying flies for fishing. We're thinking about doing it seasonally at first, so that we can shut the building down. We don't really have funding for maintaining heat and hot water or water all winter long. So the initial thought, and this is all very preliminary because this just happened, the initial thought is to try to get programs involved next summer and see what the response is from the town, and whether it's warranted to maybe the following year try to go to a 3-season spring, summer, fall educational classes, and if the need is still warranted to increase that, maybe try to bring the house up to a little higher code and make it more of a meeting space and a 4-season place where things could be done.
Okay.
For not only the seniors but everybody in town. But so as of right now, the building's not going anywhere.
Okay.
Great.
So
Any other?
no, that's it.
Okay, thank you. Helen, do you have a member comment to make it up?
No.
Okay.
Not tonight, I don't.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I just wanted just to take the opportunity just to thank everybody that came tonight, and I'm leaving here with thoughts about how we can make this better. And it's for you and your public comments, and I want to be able to hear you. But I also have to follow the agenda, and it's part of what I have to do. And unfortunately, when you sit over here in this position, you have to be the chair and have to follow guidelines. So I would really just like to thank each and every one of you for coming tonight. And please, for the next meeting, please get an email with your agenda item out to any board member, and please submit whatever material goes with that topic so that we can have it, so we can review it, okay? All right.
And to make it easier, I mean, if there's backup for an agenda item, perhaps they could just drop it here.
Okay.
If they don't know where we are, and June or Connie can just let us know something's here and whoever it's for, and we'll just pick it up and get it. We'll get it to Donna for the agenda. Any one of us who you want to help. If they need to contact us, we have our phone numbers and
Yes, it's all
emails.
online, yep.
Yep, online, our email addresses and phone numbers should be there, so if you want to call any of us, they need help getting an item on the agenda, just contact.
Thank you very much.
Anyone
Do we
who-
have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn?
I'll second that.
Okay, all those in
Okay.
favor? The meeting is adjourned.